So I'm back. I really thought that I was gonna take 2 weeks off and come back like basically immediately. And then a lot of crazy things happened in my life. So instead of making videos, I have been planning a wedding that is coming up in less than 90 days. I am moving. I'll have more on that later, but right now it's just like boxes all over the house. I don't even want to start with it. And so we're basically doing 2 of the biggest things that you could possibly do all at once. So those are some big announcements for you guys. With this time away, I would have loved to say that I was able to make a bunch of art and those types of things, but all of my creative energy was going towards what was my wedding gonna look like. I'm someone who has like literally never dreamed about having a wedding, and then we decided like, oh, January seems cheaper. Why don't we do a wedding then? Sure, why would it take so long? Yeah, it takes a long time because it's a lot of work. And that's why I have not been able to be here. As I said, I'm moving, so there's going to be a studio sale. I'm just trying to basically like clear out as much as I can, and a lot of that is posters, some of it's originals, so definitely keep your eye out for that. It'll be coming soon. So yeah, unfortunately Flanzella had to take a back seat, but I kind of feel okay about that because so far this year has been my most successful one. By the halfway point, I had already made what I made last year. So I feel like I'd hit a point where I was like, okay, I feel really good about where I am. I know I can grow this, and I'm really excited about that. And I definitely have been thinking a lot about my goals for 2025. December 2024 is going to mark my 5th year in business as a registered business under Flanzella, which is super exciting. I just like can't believe that. I'm getting to the point where it's just like, you know, you've done enough work, you've built your little city and your foundation, and now you're able to like rise up a little bit more, and so I'm really excited for next year. And so I thought now would be kind of the perfect time to do some reflection, get back into the studio, let's create something while reflecting on the year I had and the year I want to have next year. I feel like this could be very interesting for you guys. If you are running an art business or just doing art in general, this is the time to start thinking about what you're doing next year. We're gonna blink, and then it's gonna be the holiday season, and then it's gonna be January when we wanna get going on everything. So why don't we take the time to self-reflect on the year we're gonna have next year. I think this year is going to be my best year yet, which is very exciting. Even though I really dropped the ball at the end of summer, I'm still trying to pick it back up now that I'm back. And I hope that it leads to some great success for the end of the year. And even though it was my best year so far, I really believe that I didn't really set great goals for 2024. And so I didn't really achieve what I was trying to do. I kind of made these kind of looser goals. And it's good to note that. I think that like next time I will be able to make like more specific ones. And I think I'll make them like moon goals, as I call them, where you shoot for the moon and you end up in the stars. Like that's kind of the goal for this. Basically done it in Notion every single year, except for this year I did it in Asana. And then I totally forgot where I even made those goals, and then just like never looked at it again, basically. I do like what I did differently here is I put it into phases so that it's like start with these ones and then work our way down. Unfortunately though, some of the ones in the phase 1, like creating a landing page for my websites, definitely didn't happen. I did try to improve my video quality, but I just felt like I don't have the time to really make the art pieces that I want to. I just don't have the brain capacity to make it like exactly how I want these videos to be. I would love to make them a little bit more artistic, have a little bit more animations, for example, but I just like do not have that time right now. So I feel like that's something that I definitely want to carry into 2025. I also said I wanted to design a shipping desk. So for this, I definitely wanted to have like an area separate from this one. And that obviously didn't happen. I also talked about how to create more income streams for myself. So more sponsorships, for example, musician cover art, beer cover art, like those types of things. That's something that I could picture doing in like the later half of 2025 for sure. I did say I wanted to make my website an easier shopping experience, and I did do that. So finally one that we actually did. I really want to try out a platform for email marketing because on Squarespace you only get 3 emails a year unless you sign up for their subscription. I could picture myself trying a little bit harder on that platform though, so we'll see what happens there. But I did end up choosing MailChimp and setting up these cadences so that people who abandon cart will get like a bunch of emails and some discount codes and those types of things. What I was finding though is that none of them were actually helping the situation, which means that probably maybe my wording isn't correct there. So it's definitely something that I want to be fine-tuning. I also want to make another digital download book. I really thought that I'd be able to do this year, but I just, like, as I said, dropped the ball at the very end. So unfortunately, there's not going to be a second one for this year, but definitely next year. I know a lot of people have been loving it, and I'm loving seeing all the pieces that you're making with it. I also really wanted to prepare to film a course. So I've been thinking about this since 2022. I looked into Skillshare and I got approved for it, and then I decided that why not make it on my own platform. But yeah, as you can see, those are my 2024 goals. We didn't really do a lot of them, unfortunately. So I was kind of thinking, and I was like, how can I make 2025 the best year yet? I think that next year I'm thinking about like if this is going to be like a every single week thing, or if I can kind of sprinkle in every other week and then focus on some larger things for the beginning of the year. The amount of people that say that they look forward to this on their weekend, they get their little coffee and hang out with me is amazing, and that's definitely something that I want to provide for you guys. I love having weekly inspiration. But I'm just wondering if there's other things that need to take a little bit of more time just at the transitional phase, I'll call it. One thing that I want to do, and I'm sure all of you could probably add to your goals list, is seeing more art in person. I think going to the gallery more often would definitely inspire me. I want to see what other people are doing. How I'm planning to do this is to look for local art channels where they post about art shows that are coming up, and I'm going to make it like putting it in my calendar so that when it does happen, it's like booked already. I think what I've screwed up on this year is that I just got a membership to a couple places and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll go. And that just really didn't happen as often as I would have liked to. So I definitely want to like make it a thing where it's like an active role in finding art shows and actually going to them. Goal number 2 for 2025 is to join an art community. Obviously, I've really tried hard to make one online, and I have a great one on Discord. I love checking in every once in a while and seeing all the amazing art. So many great questions, and I love answering and helping where I can. I definitely need to focus more on that next year. That said, I think it's really good to meet people in person. Every time I'm with people creating art, I just feel like really great about it. And I think doing that like once a month, maybe twice a month is like a really good thing for me to do. And I recommend you guys do that as well, whether it's finding an art buddy that you can just hang out with, maybe it's just a friend doing crafts together. There's something about making together that just, I don't know, fills my soul, and I know that it is something that is important for us to do as humans. I'd also think that like looking for an artist residency or like a cooperative place or like an art making place where you can like pay for the day to go make art would be a great investment. I'll apply to some, fingers crossed that I'm chosen. The third one I want to do again is travel for an art show. This year I decided to not apply to any of the art shows that I did last year. I did really well at the Artist Project last year, and I decided to give it up for this year, which is a little bit scary because of how successful it was. But I really like the idea of trying a whole new batch of them, whether that's internationally, locally, somewhere else, different cities, those types of things. I'm really excited for this idea. I'm kind of scared, but I think that there's something to like trying new art shows. It's a whole new audience, but I'm worried that show has the same people coming every single year, and I think that it's good to get new audiences. By traveling to go to New York, for example, for my show, I found that I met so many new people. I've built like a great little network from that, and I really love the people that do it. I would love to do another show with them. But the idea that like you could go to another show like this and find more people that are really amazing is great. I think that that's how you slowly grow a career, is by getting your network in. That said, I think like Art Miami this year would be really cool to get into. So that's on my list for 2025. Wish me luck with that. And then something that maybe some of you will be shocked to hear is that I feel like my style has been a little bit stagnant since like 2019. I've really had a very similar style with just collage, very like minimalist. And I think this year is going to be the year where I develop my style a little bit. I have such a good like hold on the style that I'm doing now, and I love it, and I want to hold it near and dear. But I do worry that I haven't really pushed myself in a while, and maybe that's why it's like been hard to get back to the studio as well. I love the idea of making myself like a little almost like school course for the year of things I want to do, like trying all the different types of collage and mediums and just really playing with it, I really miss painting, to be honest. I've been thinking about like color palettes and like abstract work and that sort of thing, and getting back into that. And painting portraits feels like something that is natural to me that I would love to try. I used to love drawing, and I literally filmed a video before this where I was trying to draw for 100 days, and I did about 4 of them, and I really liked it. But it wasn't like painting where I'm like, I really want to do this, or collage where I'm like stuck with it. So I think it's good to doodle. I'm gonna keep the doodle book open. And yeah, I guess that brings me to a couple more points. Is the next one is social media and how I'm gonna tackle that one. I feel like every year for Instagram, I'm like, post 1 a week and then some stories and whatever, and there's no actual strict guidelines on that. I think I need to find some sort of way to post in advance, basically. And I also have noticed a lot of other artists doing where they post one of their new ones and then they post 9 or 10 of the ones that they've previously done. And I think that just gives your pieces more exposure. As they say in marketing, you cannot just show your audience something once and expect them to love it. That's my Instagram strategy. For 2024, I did such a great job at honestly sticking with 1 video a week for YouTube. I was very impressed until obviously August. But that's okay, life happens. But I think that it was just like, you could see the growth, you know, and even now, like, I haven't posted in a long time and I've gained still hundreds of followers without doing literally anything, which is great. It shows that your work is paying off and people are interested in the videos that I've posted before. So I really love that for me. Honestly, I really want to try some other crafts too. I know that I'm definitely going to stay in the collage sphere. I have these ideas for DIYs and different craft things that I want to try, and I would love to bring you guys along on the journey. So I'm trying to expand a little bit. I think right now I'm very niche, which is fine, but I think that there's some other areas that I would love to expand into, like my thrifting hauls for decor, plus any of my magazines and that sort of thing. Going to auctions would be really cool, like doing more of those type of like adventurous videos. I'm very excited about the idea for that. And then I also have a TikTok if you guys haven't seen that, but I think that I would actually like to make my TikTok more of a personality one. I find myself even less likely to watch like art videos on there, more of tutorials of things to do, like how to make like a certain type of art, for example, or a certain craft. But I think for TikTok specifically, I think people like seeing face and they like hearing like voices and opinions. I feel like it's almost like the new town crier. So I think that I want to use that more as like a art philosophy, kind of life things, I guess, like any small things that I'm doing. I just want to make it like way more personal and really fun. And I think that that's how I can reach like a larger demographic, right? Like if I have my link to my website and people are interested, they can go check that out. So I want to start actually doing that, which is a little bit scary because I really don't like short form content, but I think I can start editing them on my actual computer versus on my phone. Maybe I'll like that better. And my last goal, which is a goal all of the time, is that I want to do Februarage again this year. And I think that I want to do the every single day again if I can, and making videos of that. I think that this is just like such a great opportunity to test your style. If you haven't heard of Februarage, it's a 1-month challenge in February for collaging, and it's put on by the Edinburgh Collage Collective. It's such a great community. When I first started it, you know, there was like 20,000 posts for the year. Now there's like thousands, hundreds of thousands for each Februarage year, which is incredible. So it's definitely showing that the collage community is growing. I know even by me posting, I hear a lot of people saying they're trying collage for the first time, just finding this video, which is amazing. So I think that if you are just trying to figure out your style, like doing it for the full 28 days it's very rewarding. So there you have it. Those are all my goals for the year. I feel like these are attainable. I think that they're very similar to this year for sure, but I think that there's some other things that are going to come into it. I think I'm going to fluff this up a little bit, but that's just kind of like where I'm at now in this time of year. And if you guys have any goals that you think that I've missed for myself, I would love to hear them. If there's something you want me to do next year, let me hear it. Well, I'm back now, which is very exciting, and I really hope that this video is helpful for you. Remember, your goals, get on them for this year. Like and subscribe if you liked this video, and I'll see you soon back in the studio.